Emma. It's just me that's late. Sorry about that. Got lots of IndigoBlu goodies on my desk. Loads. Hi. Say hi, everyone. Hi, Teresa. Don't often do these at lunchtime. Hopefully you won't hear my stomach rumbling. Oh, Janice is texting me. I'll have to reply to her later. Got Janice tomorrow on my shows. Hi Linda, hi Terry, hi Jenny. You're a newbie, Jenny. What, newbie to Facebook Lives, or newbie to stamping, or newbie to IndigoBlu, or just newbie? Right, so we'll crack on. So tomorrow I've got shows at ridiculous time of 7 AM. I hope that there are some of you that are going to join me for that one, and I've also got a show at 11 AM as well, which I imagine that quite a few people will be joining in on that one. If you do watch the 7 AM, it would be really lovely if you I'll show you the stamps that are on the show, but if you've made any projects with the stamps that are on the show, because it's always nice to see what other people do. They're not new stamps, they might be new to some of you, they're certainly new to me. I didn't have any of these, so hi Sue, hi Diane, hi everyone, hi David. So anyway, without further ado, I'll show you what's on the show. So Kay selected some of the stamps and I've selected some of the others. Hi Jill. So first off, we've got the Colour Me range, and these are kind of linear drawings, very arty. They really lend themselves to using your luscious powders with, lots of resist kind of techniques. There are some fantastic samples by the IndigoBlu Bluebirds, which you'll see on the show. So there's the Dahlia. There's the Anemone. Anemone. I can't sing. There's the Colour Me Daisy, and then there's the Colour Me Lily. So those four together are the Colour Me range, and I think they're going to be offered in a bundle. They look really nice on the wall. I know Caroline's done a fantastic sample with all four of them together. Really lovely stamps. As you can see, they're deeply etched red rubber, as you'd expect from IndigoBlu, and they're trimmed for you. So that's the first lot. Then this is my favourite. It's got a pussycat on it. It has to be the favourite of mine, because obviously I've got Ed, and this is the sort of thing he does. He kind of sits in amongst all of the flowers and has a look. He wants to know what the birds are doing, and you know, whatever he can catch, and keep an eye on any other cats that are in his territory. So this is Blue's Lookout, and we are going to be using that one today. Obviously, again, that's nicely scrolled for you. And then some other old stamps. So I chose that one because I was desperate to get my hands on that. Rose Blush. This is stunning stamp. That's on the card I've shared on my blog today. Really pretty. Lots of it's like a collage stamp. When you look into it, you've got sort of lace detail, you've got lots of spots, you've got some honeycomb in there, lots of vines. Really beautiful. Then we've got a similar vein, we've got the Peony Posy. This one, you can see you've got a horse coming out on there. Again, lots of grungy kind of elements in. Again, a stunning stamp. Does all the work for you. And then we've got Summer Loving, which is, you know, a very similar theme to the previous two, in that it's a collage. But it's a slightly simpler design, so you can actually cut these flowers out if you want to and decoupage those up, or use them separately, or add them as extra elements. You've got some bees in there. Again, we've got the honeycomb. Stunning, stunning stamps, really are beautiful. Hi Francoise, how are you, my lovely? So those are the next lot. I've also chosen, because there's no sentiments in there, so I've also chosen the Mike Deakin word blocks, because obviously these we can use as backgrounds, fabulous as backgrounds, but we've also got these focal elements on there that we can use as a sentiment. As you can see, there are 6 separate stamps there for you to use, or pick out you could pick out some of the smaller words as well. They're slightly grungy, which means that they give you they're a bit forgiving if you don't stamp them perfectly. It's very difficult to not stamp them perfectly with all IndigoBlu stamps, but those are they. Love, love, love that set. And then from the collector's edition, we've got 4, which I thought would work really nicely with the other stamps that I've selected. So we've got the grungy little squares, grungy little circles, very, very tiny details on that. Again, not perfect, so great for you to not stamp brilliantly. We've also got the grunge dragonfly, who's absolutely stunning, and then we've got the bumblebee, which is actually 3 little stamps. They do come, they're not all cut out. I'll show you how these come here. They do come in a whole piece, so you can actually stamp that whole piece together if you want to, or like I've done, because I found that I wanted lots of the little bees. I didn't want loads of the big ones, so I've actually separated mine. So those are all the stamps that are on the show. There's obviously lots of other IndigoBlu lovelies. There's Luscious on there, the little paint collection that we had on with the translucent paints that we had on, I think the 14th and 15th there, back again. We've got unicorn sparkles, we've got slap it on, we've got various other things, lots and lots of goodies. So those are they. I'll show you, I've done a few samples. It's not my job to do loads and loads of samples. That's what we've got the DT for. But obviously it is my job to demonstrate. So I have to have a little practice. So I've done a few samples. So I'll show you what I've done here. So this is obviously the dragonfly from the grunge dragonfly. And in the background I've got the word block, the thanks one. I'm sure a member of the design team, I think it's probably Carolyn, forgive me if it wasn't, has done a sample similar to this, but I just wanted to have a little bit of a practice so that if I actually do have time to do it on the TV, that I actually get it right. So this is stamped with the wow embossing pad, with clear embossing glaze on the top, and then some of the Luscious powders just dripped over, so hopefully you can see there's some sparkle coming through there. I might not do that exactly on the telly because it did take me a while to do, and they'll run out of patience with me, but it still makes a really nice piece of art. This was on my blog yesterday, and I don't know if you can see, there's the little grungy circles just in the background there. Please do. Well, it just takes a while. I do my best. I won't get as much demo time as you think. So anyway, so this is the one that was on my blog yesterday, and that's the anemone. This is on my blog today, which is actually one of my favourites. I love using the word blocks in the background, and I will be demoing this one definitely tomorrow. And then in my journal, I've got the one that I put on the event page. Get rid of that because I've got a bit of ink. So this is blue, and I thought I'd start using my journal. Obviously these could go in my journal too, and they probably will at some point, but I just thought I'd start using my journal so I've got a record of what shows I've done more than anything, and I just love this stamp. And then I did this one yesterday as well. So this is a technique that I will probably show at 7 AM tomorrow morning, because we're going to do more techniques at 7 AM. And so this has got the translucent paints in the background. I quite like that one. I like the pop of colour on that. So those are the few samples that I've made. Not a lot. As I say, it's not my job, but it's quite a lot of fun to do. So let's crack on and let's play today and do a a piece of work today. So of course I'm going to use Blue's Lookout. Got to, it'd be rude not to. So this is a piece of watercolour card, the Pink Frog watercolour card, and I actually did this when I did the Facebook Live on the 14th. And this is just mopped up mulberry bush and daffodil paint. So I put some onto my IndigoBlu paint mat, misted it with loads and loads of water, and I've added some Magic Sparkle to it as well, which is the Cool Luscious. Everybody needs Magic Sparkle in their life. Added some of that to it. It's very, very watery. Misted the watercolour card. No, I didn't. Yes, no, I didn't. No, I'm lying. I didn't miss the watercolour card. On my craft sheet, all the paint, all the Magic Sparkle, and then dipped my card into it, and then that's what I've got there. I'm not going to show you this again because I end up with loads and loads and loads and loads of these. So we're going to work on that because we want it to be 100% dry anyway to do our stamping. And I'm going to, shall I stamp and emboss? That's the question. Yes, let's stamp and emboss. Thank you, David. Thank you. Yeah, Blue's, it was a bit naughty of me because I've been hankering after Blue's Lookout since, well, since, when was it, last August, September, when I started with IndigoBlu and went back to her Chanda. So when Kay said to me, what else do you want to put on the show? All right then, I'll have Blue's Lookout. Love my job. Okay, so I need a big block. Obviously you can use your stamp press for this, but as you're using a foam mounted stamp, you can just take that foam layer out of your stamp press. But I'm just going with one of the biggest of Phil's, the Sentimentally Yours block, and I'm using VersaFine Clair. I'm using the Nocturne. I did get another delivery of this. When did I get it? Yesterday. So I've got loads of Nocturne in stock. Lots of tapping. He's quite solid there, which is why you might want to use a stamp press. I've also got a bit of glitter there, but it's a little bit of a grungy stamp, so it's absolutely fine. You get away with it. And I'm going to stamp him on the side. I don't know how big I want to use this, so I'm going to go kind of in the middle. Let's see, how does he look there, like that. Like that. Give it a good old press. Okay, uses the flat of a hand. If that works for you, do that. But these stamps are so beautifully deeply etched that, you know, they do all the work for you. You do need to just give the ink a chance to go into your card. And remember, we're on watercolour card, which is not as easy to stamp on as the smooth card. There is the both of the black Pink Frog cards on the show tomorrow, and that black watercolour card is tremendous. See, I've got the watercolour kind of effect going on there. Can you see it's still on the stamp? So if I'd have used my stamp press, I would have been fine, but that's okay. That looks like he's kind of, you're looking through a bit of a veil and a bit rainy, and that's fine. Right, let's get a bit of scrap card. I don't think there's anything incriminating on there. No, there isn't. I reuse and reuse and reuse these scrap pieces of paper. Let's put that on there. I'm only embossing this because I want to just use a little bit of Luscious on there, and I want the kind of resist to go on. Put that in there. This is the IndigoBlu clear embossing glaze. Kay calls it embossing glaze, like it's just a powder, but it's a big pot. It's a 60ml pot, which is brilliant for getting it back in there and for lasting a long time. So let's blast this. Hi Jean. First time this has been on today. Warm it up. Never gets old, this. The change from the the sort of matte black to the lovely shiny black. He looks like he's more of a tabby cat actually, rather than a solid black cat. So my head's under the bed at the moment because I had a man here this morning to repair the cooker, and he was such a scary man, he went under the bed. But having said that, Ed's been under the bed most of this week. When it rained yesterday, he went under the bed. When it was windy yesterday, he went under the bed. He just goes under the bed. It's beautiful, isn't it, Janet? Absolutely beautiful. It is a stunning stamp, really lovely. So let's just add a little bit of stamping around the edges as well. And let's grab my little tiny stamps. What did I do with them? Oh, there they are. So we'll grab the little circles, the grungy little circles, and we'll add a little bit. It's a little bit bendy, that. This might not be Pink Frog card. This might be somebody else's card. I can't remember. So let's just build up and change the patterns around here. So this is going to be similar to how I did the other one that's in my journal. So we're just expanding the image here. We're adding some circles around the outside. Going off the page a little bit. Sorry you couldn't see that, could you? And we'll have one going up there like that. And then we'll swap that, clean that in a minute. Cleaning pile. And then we'll add our squares. The squares and circles work really well together. So let's add that there like that. I don't want a full one here. It might make my job easier if I had a bit of paper underneath, really. Let's just put a part one off there like that. And let's have, because I don't want to fill in all the gaps, I just want something there. Let's have one there. And if we chop it down like that, I won't need one up there, so we'll stop at that on that like that. Oh, excuse me, little frog. Okay, now what else we do? Let's do a little bit of Luscious. So, such a mess. Such a mess. I've had to put all my products on the floor because of having to make room for my laptop. Such a mess. No time to tidy up. Right, a little bit of water. So you see I've got a palette here, and you can get these on Kay's website. They're a Ranger palette. They were intended for the alcoholics, I believe, originally. So we get 3 sets of 3 of Luscious on the show, and we're talking yellows and oranges here. So we've got Fizzy Pop. I've got Fizzy Pop in here. I don't know if you can see that one, probably not. So these are just, I'm just regenerating the Luscious. You just put a little bit in your palette and add some water so you can mix it up. I don't want it too thick. And what we can do is just, let's colour in this flower here. So this one will pop a little bit more. And we'll also, what I did on my original one is I just coloured it. These aren't stamped and embossed. I've just coloured in a few of the squares here and there. And because this is Luscious, this is going to be shiny. It's knowing when to stop, actually. This is going to be shiny, and so I did some yellows and I did some oranges, and I also brought my oxides in as well, and coloured some of those in. And so that's a different finish. The oxides are obviously a duller, they're not shiny. And it just gives you a different finish. It's quite nice colouring these squares in. That's quite relaxing, actually. keep on going forever. Let's bring in some of the lemon sherbet. That's quite a nice one. And while I've got that wet, I will do my bees as well, because I've got some bees I want. Do be careful with some of the lighter colours that your water doesn't get dirty. So say if you're using, I don't know, verdigris or olive grove or one of the darker colours, and then you go into, say, the lemon sherbet with your dirty water, then you're going to contaminate your lemon, your lighter colours. And then there's also mermaid, unicorn tears, which is this pink on the show. That is supposed to be lemon sherbet. Let me show you that one. That's supposed to be lemon sherbet, but it's not, is it? It's pink. So that's why I'm telling you that, because it happens. I don't know where the red came from, but it's become a different colour. From time to time I'll have to clean this out probably, because I can't remember what's what. So let's just colour in these little flowers here. I mean, you can't necessarily see the difference, but obviously when we wiggle it, we'll be able to see the shimmer. Let's just colour in these. I'm not going to keep colouring loads, it's boring watching me do that, but it is very therapeutic, and it is very difficult to stop. I mean, you could colour in the whites of his eyes, you could colour in the birdies, we could add some more flowers to that, but we're going to add some bees. I've got some bees already stamped and cut out. Look at this here, I've got to clean that up. This is where I get dirty marks from. I can't abide dirty marks. And it's all right when it's below, but when you turn your work over, you know, you're putting your glue on the back, or you're putting your foam pads on the back, that's when it picks up the dirty marks. I drive myself nuts. Absolutely nuts. Let's put that down for a sec. Get in my bag of bees. So we could add the big one, but you know, that's a bit scary, isn't it, the big one? So I've got some little bees. Little bees. Cats like bees. I'm not going to put thanks on there, because thanks doesn't go with blue. Beauty would go nicely with blue, I think. I don't know why it's called blue. What's happened to that? Where's my other bee? It's buzzed down to the bottom of the bag. Oh, for fucking sake. There it is. I don't want the big one. Well, I've got 3 little bees now. Let's just add a bit of that lemon sherbet to the bees. Obviously we could add the daffodil luscious. That would be very nice added to them, because they've been stamped and embossed. The luscious pops off the embossed line, which is quite nice. Also, you can add a little bit of fabric sparkle to the bees' wings if you like, or if you've got any of the Sakura clear glaze pens, that you can add those too. It's quite dark in my craft room at the moment. Where are we going now? No, we want a sentiment, don't we? Oh, I was going to put some stencil on as well. Let's see if all that's dry. Let's see if I can smudge everything. That'd be good, wouldn't it? So let's go for one of, I don't know what this stencil's called. Jill will tell me probably, or Sue, or somebody, or Emma. Yeah, Jill's on it. I'm not reading, I'm just crafting today. Jill's on it. If you want to know anything, just ask Jill. Right, let's grab a little bit of do we keep with the same colour tones? Yeah, we better add, really, haven't we? Grab a bit of the daffodil, and somewhere, there you go, got a little sponge and a palette knife, just a few. Got loads left over from when I used to do workshops. Don't know if this is, actually, I might change my mind. Got a dirty mark there again. No, I won't. I'll do it like this. It's alright, I'm thinking on my feet. I'm trying to make it not 100% the same as what the other one was, because I want to demo the other one, or something similar. So let's just add a little bit of far too much daffodil on my paint mat. And yeah, there's not loads of stencils on the IndigoBlu website at the moment. I think, well, they'll get there in the end. It's a new website. Okay. There is another one as well. I know this one's called Bubbles, and that I use that one on my journal page. Not this one, not with blue, with the peony. So that one's quite a cool one. But I don't want dots that big on this particular page. I want some small dots. So let's see if this shows up, or whether we're going to change our mind and do something else. I think it could be alright. Oh yeah, that's fine. So it's only a suggestion of some dots. I quite like that. That works. That works for me. Tiniest bit of kitchen sponge. That's added a bit of interest. Can you guys see that? Yeah, I think you can. Right, so we'll wash that off in a minute. Spend an hour doing washing up. What we can also do is, bring that back again. Work in minute space, is take some gesso. This is white gesso, Gesso Good. And I'm just going to go in the lid, and I'm just going to grab a bottle top, and we're just going to add some extra dots, not dots, they're not dots, they're circles. Again, these won't necessarily show up. Do them in threes. It just adds, again, another little bit of interest. Again, know when to stop, Julia. Walk away from the top. I've got a nice peak there. That'll do. That needs washing as well. Just little things that you won't necessarily see until you look at it really closely. I can't get the top of my gesso now. Right, so that's that. Right, let's get one of the word blocks stamped. Another bit of dirt there. See, I'm all over the place today because it's not 11 AM, which is when I intended to do it. I was all ready, and then the man said he could come and do my oven. Right, word blocks. What have I done with them? There they are. Let's have the one that says beauty, because I think that applies to this pussycat, because he's a real beauty. I would seriously be a mad cat lady if I could. If Ed would let me, I would be a mad cat lady, but I don't think he'd like another cat. Right, let's dust this with my anti-static bag again. I'll chop this down in a minute when the gesso's dried. Obviously, I'd carry on colouring in my little squares. Probably do that later. And we will stamp with VersaFine Clear again, the Nocturne. And I only want the actual word, so I don't need to stamp the whole thing. Oh, you're not on camera, are you? Sorry. Forget that it's like this. Give it a good old press. Lovely. And we'll emboss that as well, so that it's just so that we can with the embossing glaze. I know what we'll do. Because I've got one of these in my journal already, and because I'm going to do a demo with blue tomorrow. Shall I send this out to somebody? What do you think? Does anybody want it, do you think? Oh, yeah, Christine, the plastic thing that I've got the paint on is an IndigoBlu paint mat, if that's what you're talking about. So I could do it, if you want, I could do a giveaway. So everybody that's commented, I could just choose somebody at random, if you fancy it. Let's cut this down now as well. Let's get my trimmer. Probably get gesso on it. Gesso on my trimmer. Oh, let's see. Let's chop him down to there. I like the bits on the side, so we're going to keep those. So we'll chop it down to there as well. More manageable. And then if we grab a piece of black card, I won't cut that down as well, but you can see as soon as it gets on black, it kind of pops a lot. Needs flattening. I'll probably put it onto my board before I stick it down. Right, so let's edge this as well, and you've got to cut that out, and then we'll be done. So to edge, I'm going to edge with mustard seed. My little bags of, nope, it wouldn't be the one I didn't pick up, wouldn't it? There we go. See, I am kind of organised. I have to keep everything I want to take with me to the studio together in one place, because if I don't, because I've got so many other things going on, I'll forget something. So let's edge this. Which, first of all, we're going with the mustard seed, and we're bringing the mustard seed in a bit. I will carry on doing a little bit more colouring so that whoever receives this, that's if anybody wants it, will have something that's actually finished. So we're going in quite a way with the mustard seed. That's a little bit smudged. Sorry, because Versavine Clair takes a little while to dry. And then we'll have a bit of Rusty Hinge as well, I think, which is quite a nice one to add a little bit more depth with. So we won't come in as far with the Rusty Hinge. I should have kept that on there for the sentiment. Oh, where's my brain today? Oh, I hope it's better at 7 AM in the morning. I still can't believe I've got to go in at 7 AM. In fact, I've got to be in for 6. But at least it's not 5. Oh dear, it's not like going on holiday, is it, when you don't mind getting on a plane at that time in the morning. See, that's nicely edged, it, hasn't it? Let's keep that one on there for the moment, and I'm not going to tidy up until I've done my sentiment. So let's just grab, you can just go straight with this, just by eye, doesn't have to be perfectly straight. And then at the top, because he's a real beauty. I did have, I don't know if some of you might know this, I did have 8 cats at one point. In fact, no, we had more than that. We had, what did we have? We had 3 adult cats and 11 kittens. And let's just do this in this one. And then we kept 4 of the kittens, so we had 7 cats. And then when we moved from Cheshire to Oxfordshire, the cats were in a cattery for be all right. The cats were in a cattery for a while, and there was a cat there that nobody wanted, so we adopted her as well, so we had 8. Like I said, mad cat lady, that's me. I'll clean that up now, can't I? That can go onto this background here, which is because it's the same colours. Don't have to waste it, do we? And then, where's my rice paper? My rice paper will take up the rest. Oh no, good. And Leonie's not even stood next to me. Right, let's just pop this on here. To be honest, once you've got more than 3 or 4 cats, you don't actually notice the extras. It's quite funny, because the thing is that we had 3 female cats, and they all had kittens within a week of each other, which was really good in a way, because my cat, who had hers in the 2nd week, she had to have a cesarean. So the other 2 cats, which were my ex-husband's cats, looked after her kittens for her because she wasn't interested once she had a cesarean. So that's quite handy. But that was back in 1988 when it wasn't frowned upon quite so much to do that. So that's going to go there. And then, like I say, I'll continue colouring in, and then I'll matte and layer it onto there. And then we'll bring in our little bees, and our little bees, I'll probably add something shiny and sparkly, so we could have, so yeah, he's definitely a beauty. I'm saying a he, we can even put it up there, maybe, I don't know. But he's then looking at a bee, maybe, like he was on my original page. And then we can have another couple of bees coming in. I'll stick that down properly. Coming in here, maybe. And down here, and then do a bit of doodling around the edges, so it will be similar to my journal page that I did originally. So we'll see the two, so see the difference between this is braided and this is mopped up. Okay, so there you go, there's a quick little demo with our blue. Hope that's all right. Sorry, it's all over the place. But yes, so hopefully you can join me tomorrow at 7 and 11 with IndigoBlu. My next Facebook Live will be on Thursday with Phil's new stamps. He's doing a one-day special on Wednesday and Thursday. So I'll look, if anybody's interested, if you're not interested in the giveaway, just say so. But if you are interested in the giveaway, then I'll draw a name at random later on today, and send the card out to you. Don't put your address or anything on Facebook. I'll message you, or I'll announce it, and then you can email me your details. Sorry, I'm not even making sense, am I? And I'll send that out on Tuesday. All right, everybody. Have a lovely rest of the bank holiday weekend, and I will see you early in the morning. Thanks. Bye.